Well, here we are back again. Technical difficulties. I've been going through some stuff today. Not even my own stuff, for somebody else, but it's all right. Let me see if I can get back to my report. I believe I was telling you about what they were purchasing at these commissaries, with food and personal hygiene being at the top of the list. And I think I said that if you had 5,000 inmates and they all spent an average of $1,000 a year, you'd have about $5 million that you've been collecting off of food and personal hygiene that these people are entitled to just simply by being incarcerated in your prison. But it's not working out like that. What else are they buying besides food and clothing, food and personal hygiene? They're buying clothing. In Illinois, $3 million worth of clothing. That's $76 a person. In Massachusetts, $269,000. This is clothing. Or $28 a person. That's per month. I'm sure that's $28 per person per month. Gives you those figures. And in Washington, $20,131 or $1 per person per month. Electronics. They're buying electronics. I imagine that those iPads or those digital devices that they have to have in order to stream, they're purchasing these things. In Illinois, $3 million, $3,068,081 or $71 per inmate. In Massachusetts, $343,000 or $35 per inmate. And in Washington, $15,000, which works out to almost about $1 again per inmate. Now, again, inmate sizes are different in each of these institutions. So, snack food. In Illinois, they spent $8 million or $208 per inmate. Let's see now. In Massachusetts, they spent $2,688 or $277 per inmate. In Washington State, that is $1,466,314 or $87 per inmate. Snack food. They're buying household goods. What are you doing? Are you keeping house? Household goods. What are we buying? Irons? Laundry baskets, clothespins for hanging our clothes up. What are you buying household goods for? In Illinois, they spent $1,957,000 or $45 per inmate. I'm not even going to go through the other guys. That's ridiculous. Who is setting up house in prison? Personal hygiene in Illinois was $3,446,257 or $80 per inmate. Mail. They spent mail and stationery. $1,196,758 or $28 per inmate. Oh my God. There's a line item here for unknown and unclassified. $1,177,346 or $27. And they don't even know where that money, what was that spent on? I don't know. I don't even want to think about it. And no, I don't even want to think about it. So anyway, we know that food is at the top of the list, and that's not surprising. But there's no fresh foods available. No fresh food. The top sellers are ramen noodles and candy bars. Let me tell you what they typically have for breakfast in the prison. A typical meal menu consists of Danish pastry, hot or cold cereal, and milk in the morning for breakfast. Lunch and dinner combined could be any of the following items: chicken, hot dogs, hamburgers, lasagna, burritos, tacos, and fish patties. Access to water and flavored drink is at the other two meals. So you can have milk in the morning, but at the other two meals you get water or a flavored drink, whatever that means, Kool-Aid. I don't know if it's soda. And I got that information from Wikipedia. There was an article written, Prison Legal News, in June of 2016, and it listed the U.S. for-profit privatized correctional services. And I am going to tell you who some of them are, because it's important that you know who the enemy is, or at least know who you're dealing with. At the top of the list for facility operations, meaning this company can run a whole prison on their own. All they need, I guess, is a building. Core Civic Corrections. For phone, video, and email, there was a list of 14 companies, probably more now. Remember, this was in 2016. But I'm just going to give you a few. Global Tel Link. You'll hear that name a lot. PayTel, Telmate, Legacy Inmate Communication, and Jail ATM. For food services, Aramac, Canteen, and Food Service of America. Aramac and Canteen used to show up in the courthouses. Remember? If you ever were in a courthouse and had to go to the cafeteria, they were run either by Aramac or a Canteen. Transportation services. Can you believe that? Transportation services. PTS of America, and that's just one of 6. They're transporting prisoners. Money Transfer Service, JPay, Western Union, and Access Corrections. Money Transfer Service. Release debit cards. So, when they leave, there is a way to put your little money on a debit card. But somebody made a business out of it. JPay, we heard that name a few minutes ago. Easy Exit, that's pretty catchy. And Global Tel Link. Remember I told you about them earlier. And now get this, there is a package commissary service. Package commissary service. And one of the companies is called Bob Barker Company. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to check that one out. if that's old man Bob Barker from what, The Price is Right or whatever he was on, there gonna be some furniture moving. That don't make no sense. And ICS Jail Supplies. Listen, this is a lot. And I don't want us to get overwhelmed with it, but I want us to be aware so that if you have loved ones, family members, colleagues in jail, going to jail, they're in for a rude awakening. And we need to stop this. We need to cut the head off of this monster, because you know who's paying for this stuff. They're in jail. They ain't making no money. They don't have no jobs. They want to connect to my account so that my niece, my nephew, my brother, whoever, can have access to an iPad and digital streaming services and watch movies. I'm not doing it. However, there are other people who are. And it's just wrong, because it continues to feed this sickness. This is just wrong. I want to go back to that Minnesota article, the one from MinnesotaReformer.com. Remember? Yesterday, it's the one that started telling me about how the telecom service refused to stop price gouging. Listen to this. Before July of 2023, when Minnesota's new law took effect, people locked up in the state's prisons were charged 4 cents a minute for a phone call. 60% of the revenue for calls went to the prison telecom company that provides phone services across the state prison system. So if you got 10, 20 state prison systems, telecom was getting paid from all of them. The remaining 40%, the 1.6 cents per minute, went to the Minnesota Department of Corrections. Do not despise small beginnings. Them little pennies add up. In 2022, Minnesota made $1.3 million off of these so-called site commissions from the contract with its prison phone provider. A larger share of the pie went to ViaPath Technologies, formerly known as, remember this name? Global Tech Link, which is Minnesota's primary prison telecommunications vendor. Across the board, they're getting paid, and they're getting angry. They don't want to give up this. They don't want to stop. As recently as 10 to 12 years ago, if you looked at a balance sheet for these companies, these telecom companies, 98 or 95, between 95 and 98% of their money was coming from telephone revenue. And they were profitable at that. They didn't have to do anything else, none of the emails, none of the digital stuff, because just phone calls was padding their bottom line. The healthy profit margins for such ventures attracted private equity. People started investing because the return on investment was ridiculous. Over the past 2 decades, ViaPath has been tossed around between private equity firms. They've been tossed back and forth from Goldman Sachs and Veritas Capital to most recently American Securities, which says its portfolio of companies brings in $46 billion in annual revenue. $46 billion in annual revenue for one company. This is criminal. This is criminal. Viapath, the company I just told you about, their main national competitor, Aventiv Technologies, is backed by Platinum Equity. Now, I'm tossing out all these names, but I'm gonna help you connect the dots because they're all connected. They're all making money. This firm, Platinum Equity, was founded by billionaire Detroit Pistons owner Tom Gores. Together, Aventiv and Viapath, these two companies control an estimated 90% of the prison telecom market. That only leaves 10%. Well, who's getting in and it's even worth that little bit? This is a money maker, and it has to stop. Viapath's predatory business practices are well documented. The company was implicated in a bribery scheme in Mississippi that sent the state's corrections boss to federal prison in 2017. This company is still around, and they are exhibiting predatory business practices, but they're still around. A 2015 class action lawsuit accused the company of seizing money from inactive accounts of people making calls to prisons and jails. Remember, I told you that money was sitting around? Forcing Viapath to pay out a $67 million settlement. I'm going to check them out. Other lawsuits have accused Viapath, as well as Aventiv's subsidiaries, of improperly recording attorney-client phone calls. Really? Really? The Federal Communications Commission, which regulates phone and other communications, handed down some new rules during the Obama administration that capped per-minute fees that companies could charge for prison phone calls. Despite some rollbacks under Donald Trump's presidency, the rate caps remain, and the Federal Communications Commission has indicated it plans to strengthen the rules. But how many of you know that rules are meant to be broken? And the only reason you put rules in place anyway is because somebody already messed up. At the same time, the number of states that offer free phone calls in prisons is multiplying very rapidly. That's what they have to do. They have to take the bite out of this thing. You know, the juicy bottom line out of it. If the phone calls are free, pick up the phone, you get 5-minute phone call. Every inmate gets a 5-minute free phone call. And once a week, if you have good behavior, you get a 10-minute or whatever. And it's free. Just pick up the phone, dial, and it's free. We have to stop some of this. It's ridiculous. I'm going to stop now. Actually, this video is going to be in 2 parts because I had some technical difficulty earlier, and I'm going to try to put them together. It's so sad. It's so sad that we are having this kind of conversation in 2024. But be encouraged, because we are a voice of like 14 trillion. In 2025, seniors across the globe will be at 14 trillion. That's powerful. That's a voice to be reckoned with. We just need to get together. By the way, I hope everybody is safe. We had a 4.8 earthquake in the northeast region of the country. New York, parts of Pennsylvania, some in Delaware, So I pray everybody is safe. I hope you have found this information helpful. Please remember to like, subscribe, share, watch the videos, please. I'm going to upload this in 2 parts. We might do something at a later time. I have been getting requests for different topics. Somebody wants to hear about elder abuse, and somebody else wants to hear about predatory lending, scams. I just had a friend who got scammed over the phone, and she was calling me, you know, to tell me, come help me, please. I told her, unplug that computer and shut that phone down. So I'm probably done with this prison report for right now, but it's pretty interesting. You might want to go and read the entire report on MinnesotaReformer.com. It is just unreal, the things that are happening. And see, we have so much going on that, you know, we take our eye off of this and something goes on over there. It's like an inflated balloon. You push down on one side and the other side pops up even bigger. So if you find this information helpful, please share it and like and subscribe. Thank you again for allowing me to be the voice for advocacy for seniors, and as it's turning out, just a voice. This is information really that anybody can use. So stay safe, and remember, you don't know what you don't know. Take care.